My people, what is going on? Welcome to Temple Geek Podcast. My name is Kari, and I'm going to be here talking about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, or as we love to call it, Duncan Egg. Season 1, Episode 2 and 3, we're going to discuss. There are going to be spoilers, so if you haven't watched it, save this for later and then come back. Thank you for tuning in. And today, again, we have the amazing, my bestie, my friend, my girl, JJ. JJ, what's going on?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm so excited that we're doing this again, especially with another really good A Song of Ice and Fire show. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's been really good from the first episode up to like 2 and 3. It's been so good. Everything, the tone, it's been entertaining. It's been
Mhm.
very charismatic and very whimsy. So
Funny, like
and
we haven't
funny.
seen
It's
it.
so
We don't
good.
get a lot of humor in this very dark and violent world, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very refreshing. Episode 3 is sort of the what happens in it. The is the catalyst for rest of Dunk's journey, which has so far been just kind of a journey of discovery, and also some illusions getting shattered about nobility and royalty and what it means to be a true knight, what constitutes true knights. So the episode 2 is definitely one of those episodes where he's sort of going through the list trying to find somebody to vouch for him, and in the slow realization of nobody remembering the hedge knight that fought for so many of these noble lords really sets in for him. And that was actually quite sad moment at the end when he says, I am his legacy, Alec. I'm going to prove all of them wrong. Like, to me, that was like kind of an emotional moment. So I think the episode really like tackled the humor and the heart, and also like the seriousness of it all, like in a really in a short amount of span. Like, these episodes are short, but they're paced so well, like in my opinion, like to a point like where you get all of the everything that you love about Game of Thrones world, you get in one of these little short pockets of episodes. So we met a lot of new characters in episode 2, including the royal family. We met Princess Maekar and Baelor, who is heir apparent. We met Prince Aerion Brightflame, who kind of quips with Dunk and mistakens him for a was a stable boy,
Oh boy, yeah.
which which is what happens to in the first episode when Dunk mistakes Egg for a stable boy. So it's kind of a nice little kind of a parallel moment to that. Aerion, played by Finn Bennett, really brilliantly. He's quite despicable, as we see, especially in episode 3, and we'll get to that moment. But overall, this episode was amazing. Had drops of like world lore that wasn't like what's the word I'm looking for? Expository. Like, it didn't like go into over explain it to the audience. Like when Egg is screaming, "Oh, die, you Blackfyre bastards," and all of that. Like Dunk would understand what he is talking about, like what that means. Like, if those that have read novels also know what that means. It's talking about an event that took about a decade prior to this. So when previous king's bastard rebelled against the current king. So excuse me, I'm talking too much now. And we have that, and we have mention of Florian the Fool, which is like a ancient tale from Age of Heroes that we see during the puppet show that the Duncan Egg attend. Egg loves those puppet shows, which is so cute. Like, it highlights his child Whimsy, which I thought was really adorable. We have brief mention of a battle of Redgrass, which is another that's part of the Blackfyre Rebellion, a final battle that ended the Blackfyre Rebellion. So a lot of goodies for the A Song of Ice and Fire readers, but also like casual fans can feel completely immersed in it without like being confused. In my at least the way it's
Mhm.
pieced together. So yeah, that
Yeah.
episode was great. We met Steely Pate, the one that makes the armors, for him to make him an armor, but it's expensive, and we get a sad moment of Dunk having to sell Sweetfoot to earn for his armor. And then the episode sort of ends with jousting scene, which was amazing. And you see like all the lords lining up in their crazy armor. Like, you could tell a lot of the budget went into the armor design. And the best part of that episode for me was just how like distinctive they are. Like, A Song of Ice and Fire is so like colorful and bright and like very very descriptive. Like, you know exactly which house it is, which banner, which color, like scheme, and all of that. So like you can tell who's Lord Tully, who's Lord Tyrell, the Lannisters, the Hightowers, Targaryens in their armors. Like, the armors look insane. And Dunk's realization of that he's way in over his head
Oh, yeah.
really settled in. And speaking of armors, we also saw the biblically accurate, as I like to call it, Kingsguard armor, which is all white with a crown and the seven swords that surround the sigil, which is very. It looks like a artwork from the World Book done by Chase Stone. I think it's directly inspired by that or by that picture, which is
Nice.
a fan favorite. So like when I saw that, my eyes were just like like hard eyes. That was
Yeah.
like probably one of my favorite parts of the episode. Just seeing correct Kingsguard armor. It was amazing. Yes, that's.
That's
I think that's
awesome.
the summary of the episode too. I don't know if I missed anything.
Oh well, of course,
Oh no!
the
Oh,
slap in the face as soon as as soon as the episode started.
how did
I
I
saw that,
forget? Oh my god!
the meat of it all. I swear to God, he turned and it just went like, whoa. I was like, whoa, damn, okay.
A
It's
fan
like,
message me
I'm
like
out of the,
poked my eye out.
whoa, sir. Like giving people, their kinks. Like, okay.
Like, what is happening? Episode 1 was a projectile diarrhea in the woods, and then episode 2 is like Mr. Arlen carrying two swords.
We're gonna see Arlen in all his glory. This is him
Literally.
to the bone. Like this is who he is. I see. Yeah.
You said
What a
you
man.
said you said bone.
Well, he did. I mean, we see he was in there with somebody, so definitely bone.
I mean, the noble knights may not remember Sir Arlen Pettigrew, but the women will.
The women will remember. You just gotta go. Oh,
Mm. Sir
oh.
Arlen, I remember him.
So Arlen with the
Readjusting
long
my guts.
arm. Arlen. Oh my God.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Now make me serious for a minute, Karina. All
Are
right.
we are adults, okay? Why is
Yes,
this
yes.
we've never
I mean,
never
it was
seen
there.
it?
How are we not gonna? It's part of the show. We need to discuss it. We need to
I
discuss
mean,
the lengths of that it goes to. The lengths that okay. And, okay.
we have a couple more puns to get out of our system.
Oh no,
No,
yeah. Oh my gosh.
oh my
But
god, that's hilarious.
um what you were saying about that, for a lot of there was a lot of lore, kind of a bit of exposition with a lot of little things that they were dropping the gems. And like you said,
Mhm,
I'm sure that for novella and the book readers, it's gonna be like,
mhm.
oh my god, I know. But even me,
I
like I'm
know him. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But then even like me, because I'm not, I'm just a
Yeah.
show, just with the shows and stuff. It was
Mhm.
fun because it's like I know that there's some crazy lore behind whatever that they're saying and stuff, the little things that they drop. But now it's in my head, now I know much more about the world, about their world, about
Thank you.
everything that's going on. And then it is good because that gets people more curious to want to go read and go Google and go find out about these things. So it's really good. We don't need to have all these crazy heavy exposition all the time, like explaining every single thing, which I love that the show is doing. It's still concentrating on Duck and Egg, but it's still giving us these, like you said, still giving us some world building, but it's not like
Yes.
overwhelming. And it's really really fun, and that's why it's so easy to go along with the story. We're able to like go along and not get lost in the, oh wait, but now I got to remember this, and now I got to remember this other thing
Mhm.
that they said. It's just the story with little bits and pieces, sprinkled here and there. So it's so good. The I wanted to talk again about the Kingsguard armor because it was
Yes.
so good. Well, you were saying like that it's so, everybody else is so colorful, all each house and stuff, and then you get the white because there's no way you could ever confuse the King's Guard with anybody. You see them coming a mile away with that shiny white armor.
Exactly.
Oh, it's so
Exactly.
freaking cool. I love
They're
that.
they're supposed to be fully neutral. Like
Mhm.
that's why you're not going to see anything recognizable. They are devoted to that role for it's an oath for life. So to see them like that, and yeah, that was it was it was a great moment. Definitely
Yeah.
one of the most accurate armors I've seen so far in
Yeah.
every live action of Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, no, it's really, really cool. I love the details to all these. Like we're seeing such um amazing, the wardrobe that they're using. And like you said, it still feels lived in. It's not just nice and crispy, you know? This is a world that it's being lived in. So it's really, really cool. And then we're still getting, episode 2 was still in that kind of comedy phase,
Yes,
the funny whimsy thing. We see the tug of war, we see the
that's
playfulness
right. Tug of war. Yeah,
with between Lionel and Dunk still. We see Dunk and Egg having that little quip with like, oh,
yeah.
people call me stupid. And like,
And
he's supposed to say something. He's like, no,
he's such a
that's
himbo.
red. I love it. He's so
Which
adorable.
he's such like he's like there's just so many like giveaways to X like identity reveal
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ultimately, and Donkey's such a himbo. He's just not picking up on anything, and I get
Nothing.
it.
He's
He's
done
so focused
nothing.
on getting into the lists and getting
Yeah,
into the tourney, and that I don't think he's paid much attention. Like nothing, things are not clicking just yet. So I
that
just
not at all, not at all. And then I like how that like you said, like he's kind of going into right in episode 2 where we see him kind of getting a dose of reality with what it really
yes,
entails to go into these games and be around these people and stuff. And we see towards the end of the episode when everybody's jousting, he kind of like he seems
panic attack. I felt like he was having a
yeah.
panic attack,
A
right?
panic attack. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? Am I gonna be able to, like, you could tell that all these thoughts of, am I good enough for this? Am I gonna be able to even do this? Like, what am I even doing here with these people? Like, it's a lot for him to take in. Um,
And that's credit to Peter Claffey. He's so like he emotes quite well with his big blue eyes. They're just so
mhm.
intense, and his facial expressions and all that. You
Yeah.
can read all of his emotions, even when he's flirting with Tencel. Like the awkwardness of that moment is really cute, and like he's just like looking around, like doesn't know how to like. It's awkward flirting,
His
like a
little,
boy having a
his
crush
little,
for the first time.
yeah, his little smirk, like, yeah, and he's like, "Oh wait, I can't be saying stuff like." He kind of like took it back.
Right.
He didn't know. That's when Egg had to come in, like, "Oh my God, like, no, no,
He was
no,
his wingman. He was his wingman.
total Wingman." It was so cute, and I love
It
that
was
she's the
adorable.
one that does his sigil
Mm.
for his shield. That's that.
Like she paints all of the puppets, so
Mhm.
like they're like, oh, you paint puppets, maybe you can paint this. And the inspiration for the sigil is like Dunk wanted sunsets because Sir Arlen loves sunsets, and then Egg is like, oh, put an elm tree and a shooting star, like what we saw in episode 1.
Yeah, yeah.
That really iconic moment from the novella. So, and we've seen images, official images of the shield. It looks
Mhm.
beautiful. I don't know if you guys want to look it up. The shield looks gorgeous, and we'll see
Yeah,
the shield pretty soon.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, it was really beautiful. So that was the second episode again was really great. We got introduced to we got finally like you
We
said
got
the
the royalty,
Targaryens,
yeah.
the whole the team and stuff. Hilarious between Baelor, the distinction between Baelor and Maekar.
And Maekar.
You can tell that's the
Here
little
it
brother.
comes.
The little
Here comes Prince Baelor, heir to the Iron Throne, son of Daron, da 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 da, and his brother Maekar.
And his brother Maekar. Maekar, yo, and I love Maekar's expressions. Like that's my spirit animal. Like
He is. He's so annoyed by everything.
everything annoys him. He's just sick of everything. He's like, I don't even want to be here. This could have been
I
an
don't want to
email.
be here. This,
This could have been an email.
typically Targaryens do not go to these events, especially if not from like Lord Ashford. Who's Lord Ashford? He's a small
Yeah, yeah,
lord, but now they don't have their dragons. They have to assert themselves, so they that the small folks and the nobles know who's in charge.
yeah.
So it's more of a dog and pony show for them to show
Okay.
face. So
Yeah.
now that they don't have dragons, they're considered quote unquote normal. Like they're no longer gods because they're not riding
Yeah.
magical beasts
Yeah.
anymore. So now it becomes strictly game of politics. This is no longer politics and monsters. This is just politics. And if you want to keep peace, quote unquote, or keep people happy, you have to show face, and you have to be smart about your choices, because now that you don't have dragons, they can overturn you easily.
Yeah.
Now you cannot rule by fear anymore. And I think these novellas and like the show itself, because it's so accurate to the novella, highlight that really well. Especially in episode 3, where we see like especially Arion's behavior and the way the audiences reacted to the small folks reacted to him. So for Baelor and Maekar to be there and Maekar being annoyed, it makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Maker is the best. I swear to God. Like all his
Sam
facial
Sproul
expressions.
is perfect.
So good. Oh my God. When Dunk came in and he's like, "Oh, I hope your kids, your children are not dead."
That's
And you guys- Because like, wait,
wait.
what did he say?
Talking
Like,
about and
oh my
and
God.
Baylor is all like regal and he speaks very eloquently and he doesn't curse. He has really good memory. He's a scholar. And all and this was like, you're grateful now. Fuck off. I was dying.
It's like, because like I'm just getting paid to be here. I'm just paid to be here. I think that's it.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my, poor Maker. Oh
Poor
my God.
Maker. We meet his son, Aerion Brightflame, the villain of the
And then he
season.
has to
Yeah,
deal with that, and
uh,
then with like his
that
other sons, like I
are
can't imagine. I
missing.
would be tired.
Yeah,
I'd be like, oh my God, get these little kids away from me. I can't.
he's a single dad. Give him. Be patient with
He
him.
works
He's a
two
single
jobs.
dad. He works 2 jobs.
Now we get into episode 3. I think
Yes.
it's. I love the way it's because of course we're expecting some other crazy thing at the start of the scene because we with the other two scenes and stuff, but we get one of the most sweetest moments when it's so darling seeing Egg. Like Egg was focused in episode 2. He was paying attention to what the scribes and the helpers were doing for
Yes.
their sirs and their lords, and seeing him trying to like I need to train this horse, I need to train myself, see him do all. Oh my God, it was just so adorable.
This the shift in this episode obviously it changes like how things are going to go moving forward, but also like it takes a perspective shift. Like you open up with Egg training to be a squire. Like now we are away from Duncan's perspective. Everything so far has been was from Duncan's perspective. So
Yeah.
now we have a little bit of Egg focused episode, which makes sense. At the end, we have the big reveal of his identity. So like thematically, that was like
Yeah,
it
the name of this
open up. Mhm.
episode is Squire, isn't it? I think that's the name of this episode, isn't it?
That's
Squire.
right. Or
Yeah. Hmm.
2 was hard salt beef, Hedge Knight, hard salt beef, and this was a squire. You're right. So
Right, yeah.
even the title it tells you whose perspective this is from. So the training with thunder and appearances by Lord Riesling was kind of wild. I did not expect
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah,
that
oh
was that
yeah,
was
well at
great.
least that was the wow effect in this episode with the eye hanging out. Yeah.
Lorna gets again with the songs. We have bar songs apparently in Westeros. We do. There's plenty of bar songs, but which
I was like, wait, pleasure is a what? You want to do something up here with
I did.
this?
I transcribed on a piece of paper to what the song is. It's about a woman, a lady of the night that only has 3 fingers and uses them to
Pleasure.
arses.
I love Lionel. Oh my God. That man has not a serious bone in his body.
No, nope. 3 episodes now, he's like acting like a frat boy. It is classic Baratheon.
It's
they
too
took
funny.
his they took his nickname, the Laughing Storm, and like really like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
played with that.
It's so good. But yeah, so I love that we're getting that what else they're going to fix things. Oh yeah. Oh, and then we get that moment of Egg, you know, making sure he's gonna do everything the right way. And then we get
Mhm.
this and then we change into the scene where the I guess the one in charge of the games and stuff, he comes to
Yeah, the
Dunk.
game master, a
The game
plumber.
master
Yeah.
comes to Dunk trying to basically have him cheat, right? That was the whole thing. Like now you see Egg trying to do the right thing, and then they have this guy over here trying to have Dunk do the wrong thing. Like, and that it's very like for Dunk, that's like very, again, he's being the
Shattering the illusion,
illusion.
yeah.
Yeah, that the illusion of like, oh, the nobility and just and everything. And it's like, oh, these people just like cheat. Like, what's going on, you know?
And also, like, noble lords of Westeros are not above overspending on events and tourneys for with money that they don't have, because they have to keep up with the appearances.
Mhm.
And it's what do you call it, circus, bread and circuses type of thing. So like we see this quite often, like in even in the current saga, like King Robert Baratheon, he throws ton of tourneys and he's in serious debt. The crown
Mhm.
is in serious debt. So who foots these bills? It's usually the peasants and the small folks. So they get distracted by jousting, by bread and circuses. So uh, not only is Dunk's sort of like um, morals being put to test, whether he's going to enter the list and let and beat the Lord Ashford's son and gain some money, or more importantly, gain armor and a horse, which is a very tempting
Mhm.
offer for a hedge knight that doesn't have any of those things. And also, like, again, these noble lords playing their games while the small folks suffer with spending money on tourneys that they don't have.
Mhm.
So I think that's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, no, definitely of course Dunk didn't accept that because
No.
he's trying to maintain the fact that at least, I have a legacy to uphold with, with Sir Arlen's name and stuff. And he's just
And
that
with
that
himself. And
Mhm.
with himself, he's has proven so far to be an honest person. So, like, for him to be asked to throw a match, if you want to call it that, is quite
Yeah.
unethical. So, but before even he could give an answer, because again, having a horse to armor is very tempting for somebody that doesn't have anything. He is thrown into the central conflict of the series, which is what happens
Yeah.
in the tent during the puppet show. So we'll see in the later down the season how that's going to play out.
Plus, I guess also, maybe in the back of his mind as well, what kind of example he's going to give to Egg. Egg is somebody that's you can see that he looks up to him so much. Like, he has so
He
much respect
does.
and like admiration for him. So, that would have been definitely a
He doesn't
letdown.
want to disappoint. Yeah, doesn't want to disappoint Sir Arlen, Egg, or himself. So yeah, that's
Especially, and then with, again, going on with the line of, not disappointing Egg, we see that, especially when we see Aerion coming to
mhm.
joust, and he does such a messed up thing when he went for the horse instead of the lord, and the
He
way that
lowered his lance too low. Yeah,
yeah, and you could tell that Egg was so destroyed by that, like, like, that's my brother, like, he felt so disgusted that his brother, now that we know that that's his brother, but now we
hmm
know why he reacted. I mean, even though the act of seeing a horse do that, but just now we know why he reacted even more, because it was his brother that, that perpetrated that.
yeah. There's a well, obviously you learn who Egg is at the end, so you kind of add two and two. There's
Mhm.
so much behind Egg and his relationship with his brothers that sort of like lingers beneath the surface. So for Egg, it's not just that Aerion did a very ungallant, very like very shitty thing, very like unknightly. I don't know if that's the right word here. There's other aspects to it, obviously, with their relationship. So for him screaming "die, die, die" and Dunk looking all confused, to see him like react so strongly when he's been nothing but kind of like cute and funny, and all of a sudden this kid he's been with this whole time is like having a very visceral reaction, and he probably mistook that, for the horrible horrific scene of that horse dying so painfully. So and then later on we see like the small folks go after Aerion, which if Targaryens had dragons that would not happen. So that kind of again speaks to what I said earlier, like they are not as seen as powerful anymore as they used to be. Without dragons they're just quote unquote normal. So it was a lot, I don't want to say easier to attack him. They still have, their status and their Kingsguard and all of that, but had they had a dragon in a neighbor in like flying around, that would probably not happen. They wouldn't be at the turret to begin with, but that
Yeah,
would not happen without dragons.
yeah,
And
having
Baelor looking visibly like annoyed by him, like there's almost taunting there, the way he like smirks at him, and when he lifts his helm like to like nod at his uncle, like there's almost goading there. Like I always like theorized that Aerion just really wanted to embarrass his uncle, um, because he's the one that's going to be king, not Aerion's father.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, which puts
But
Aerion super
Baelor
low on
doesn't
the
have the
list.
white hair that the rest of them have.
Which there's a lot of history with that too, especially that's caked into the Blackfyre rebellion that's now been mentioned twice. We have a whole song that Egg sings in the beginning called the Hammer and the Anvil, which used to be just a line in the world book. Hey, Maekar and Baelor inspired a song called the Hammer and the Anvil because of their tactics during Blackfyre rebellions when they crushed the rebel army between them, like a hammer hitting the anvil type of thing. So
That's
now
it.
we have a full blown song with lyrics, which is so like great. And knowing that George R. Martin gave notes and like was receiving constant feedback from Ira Parker, this is something that George would either write or Ira would write, and George would be like, "Yep, that absolutely is something that I would write." So like that song was just perfect. And I was making jokes like, "How would Egg even know this song? Where did he learn it from?" Probably his father. But then at one point, like Dunk asks him, "Do you know your father?" And he responds with, "No, not really." So he didn't technically lie there. It's just it speaks to a relationship that little Egg has with his father, who again
Yeah.
has one, two, three, four, five, six children and no wife. So you're not gonna have time to spend bonding with all of your sons, especially
All-
the one that's lowest on the succession line.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that, I
Exactly.
found that really sad. Yeah,
No, that song had me dying though. And I was like, how? Where did he get this song from? Of course.
it was cute. It was cute. Second Blackfyre reference. I did not expect it to have that many of them. So, which tells me maybe season two is going to have a whole, potentially, and a whole opening of the Blackfyre Rebellion. We may actually see some red grass
Oh,
field that was
cool.
mentioned in episode one. We may actually see that. That might, if they cast Daemon Blackfyre, I suggest everybody to log off internet for a week because it might just be set on fire. No man is good looking enough to be that character. That's all I
Oh,
have to say.
he's that hot. Like he's
He is exceptionally beautiful,
okay. Oh,
annoyingly beautiful.
like who?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who would you
that's
would cast? Like, it's gonna be a very tough shoes to fill. Yeah, but again, that part of that aesthetic is he looks Targaryen. He looks like Aegon the Conqueror, while Baelor has his mother's features, his dark hair and the dark eyes, his Dornish mother's features, which there's a lot of anti-Dornish sentiments in Seven Kingdoms,
yeah, 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 yeah.
if that makes sense. So
Yeah, he has
yeah.
like darker feature. Like the
Mhm.
darker.
Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure, because of his queen mother. So,
yeah,
and then if you have a court filled with people that don't like Dornish influence, usually because they're on, his father was, he brought in Dornish to his court and was very lax in like their governing of them because Dornish have their own customs. And Targaryens, for the most part, once they conquered, they let everybody do what they wanted, what they were doing previously. Nothing much has changed except now taxes were paid to the crown. But other than like their language, their religion, who can practice what, everybody could do whatever they wanted. But now they have to answer to the king. They can't just be going around like warring with each other anymore. You gotta keep king's peace. So
yeah.
it's good. The fact that they're mentioning like the Blackfyre rebellion so much through the song that Egg is singing, twice mentioned in episode two with "Oh, die Blackfyre bastards," and then you have the Redgrass mentioned. I have a feeling that we're headed into maybe some
Some
potentially
flashback.
Blackfyre, either flashback or well, it has to be flashback because this happened 13 years ago.
Yeah,
But at
yeah,
least like
yeah.
at least put into live action, which I find that so exciting. So
That would be really cool to see.
that'd be very cool
Yeah.
to see a
Um.
little bit younger Maekar and Baelor. Daddy Bertie
Oh,
Carvel,
please.
can I be your age appropriate second wife?
Can I be the one stuck in the middle of the mango and the anvil and the
Please. Targaryens took multiple wives. I'm right here.
Listen, you need to make sure that there's different types of races and ethnicities and stuff. It's
You
important.
have to, absolutely, absolutely. Westeros is a diverse place. Essos even more. So I
We're
hope they
very
match that energy.
diverse friendly. You know, I don't
Hell
mind.
yeah. I
Oh
don't mind. Ooh. That's
man.
funny.
Um, but now going towards the what we had said earlier, that now we're getting this kind of tone shift.
Mhm.
And we kind of start. We see that kind of start with when Dunk and Egg run into the seer, right, the fortune teller. and
Yes. I was
crazy,
waiting for you to bring it up.
crazy as uh prophecy that she told for Egg. Because especially like if you don't know who he is, saying something like that, it's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, dang, Dunk just laughed. Like, what is she talking about?
Especially because she first said you're going to be more famous and richer than a Lannister, which he's a hedge knight. He doesn't have nothing. He has to sell a horse to get a helm. So, like, for him to hear that, it's like, yeah, it's a joke, obviously. And then she follows it up with something a lot darker and definitely familiar to the book readers. The references an event that's going to happen 50 years into the future. I'm not going to go into details what that is, but it's pretty self-explanatory to what she says to Egg. But prophecy is gonna, as George puts it, will bite your prick off every time. Do not interpret it literally, word for word. There's always a second and third and fourth layer to these things, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
when she says you'll be richer and more famous than a Lannister, it may not necessarily mean money. Although, like when your best friend is actually a freaking Targaryen prince, yeah, I mean, you might you might have gotten lucky there, like finance wise. But also, like if you remember from Game of Thrones, which again, this is out. This is not a spoiler because Game of Thrones has been out. Joffrey Baratheon spoils both shows on Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon and
Yeah.
Night of Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
He mentioned he's reading through the White Book, which is the book of the Kingsguard. So if you have accomplishments, you're putting into the White Book everything that you've done, and usually it's a page or two. Duncan has 4 pages worth of accomplishments, and Joffrey notes that. Oh, look at this Sir Duncan. He's very like look at the list of accomplishments, telling it to his uncle, to his father Jamie Lannister, but his
Father,
uncle
uncle. Yeah.
Jamie, father uncle Jamie, because he's teasing Jamie. He's being cruel to Jamie. Like, look at all that he's done. You've accomplished nothing. So like that. That's how you can interpret it, and it doesn't have to be money wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because in
Hmm.
that sense, Duncan would be richer than that Jamie
Richer
Lannister.
in like in fame, in like
And
what he's known for, what he has done for the kingdom,
yeah.
and yeah.
Oh,
The other part obviously is a lot more darker. You're telling a 9-year-old you're gonna die in fire, and everybody will rejoice in your dying. Is a rather terrifying thing to say to a 9-year-old.
we
Hmm.
we don't know why that would make sense for Egg until the end of the episode. So then,
Hmm.
yeah, so now thinking back, and I was like, oh shoot, that prophecy, for
Hmm.
non-readers and everything, it's like, like, oh, so he's gonna end up being somebody big that, if you take it
Yes,
to face, like that people are gonna hate, because it's just saying people rejoice. We don't know what kind of people, which people, and all that stuff. And then you can imagine anybody hating poor Egg when he's such a sweetheart, but then you
right.
remember you're in the, you know, Game of Thrones universe, and you don't know what could happen to him that maybe hardens him, he has to
Makes
grow
him
up.
cruel.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
like you said, there's a lot of different ways that you can interpret that.
and something else happens at this during what's being referenced in this prophecy, which and again like when that happened, like I had a lot of people messaging me and DMing me and commenting on my posts, like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And I tried to explain it to the best of my ability, but also like every single time you see a character trying to say something, prophesizing that they saw what they saw in the future, take everything with a grain of salt. So rejoice could be something else.
Yeah.
A baby was born during this whatever event. A baby came in during something really tragic happening.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
rejoice in a birth. You see where I'm going with it?
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, no, no. Of course, like you said, it could be made interpreted in many different ways. It's the same thing with taking, the dragon dream
Excuse me.
and what they dream and stuff. Because oh my God, in House of the Dragon, that like the whole.
Helena, Viserys. Yeah, we already have seen. Yeah,
Mhm.
and dragon dreams in at least in the lore, they are something not to be desired to have. They are destructive. Anybody that dreams of dragons, it kills them.
Yeah.
They are very destructive dreams. Anybody that can see into the future, they're doomed by it. And one thing that I would like audience to always understand, like these prophecies are not call to action. they're not like to be interpreted literally, as I said earlier. So take everything with a grain of salt. But also, like, as much as I want to talk about Summer Hall tragedy, that happens later on and what that actually all means, I don't know if that's going to be adapted onto the show because it's so far ahead into the future. We're talking very far into the future. So I don't know if show will ever even do that, if HBO is going to do that. So maybe I can't talk about it, but I'm just not going to take the chance right now. So you can go on my TikTok and watch a video that I made on it with full spoiler warnings. Obviously, I'm trying to be very cognizant of those things lately. So, but yeah, that was a very shocking moment. And the woman that she looked like what I would call a crone, and which is one of the representations of the fate of the seven. You have the mother, the father, the smith, the stranger, the crone, the maiden. The crone is like an old lady of wisdom and things of that nature. So she looked like a crone, but also there was blue lips on her. Maybe my TV did darken them a little bit. It looked like she had darker lips, either from wine or something that she was drinking, or some kind of Westerosi lipstick, which could also be a reference to Game of Thrones, this Night of the Shade. Those warlocks drink in Karth with Daenerys, and their lips turn blue. And usually that liquid historically gives the drinkers sight of future.
Oh,
they can see.
okay.
Yeah. So like I haven't broken that down just yet, but like the more I look at that picture, because you know me, I clearly by the shirt which families and the characters I love. I saw the little brief scar right here on her face. If you zoom it in, and I'm like, oh, is it him? Is it him? My love, is it Brendan? I see scar on the face, and I'm like, oh, it's him. It's my glove shit. Oh man, that's got to be. It's not. It's probably not. But I'm a freak. I hope everybody knows that here now. I see anything red on the face, I'm like, oh, it's a Blood Raven. It's Blood Raven, isn't it?
Mephisto. It's Mephisto.
Especially, it's oh my god, that's hilarious. It's Mephisto. Especially
everything was Mephisto.
Especially because we haven't even touched upon Raymond Fossaway's anti-Targaryen talk. Because he mentions they are what was the word he used? I need to find the transcript. They are magic users, blood magicers.
Blood magic.
That was the word. Blood magicers. When he said that, I was like, what do you know, Raymond? What do you know?
Oh, that would be cool if they kind of well, no, because with how the show goes, because I was saying that maybe we could get maybe the show might get more into that he said, but
who knows?
Yeah, but knowing the show is just like this is something that just keep it in the back of your head. It's something that is out there, blood magic.
Yeah.
So just
something
so like
when you word,
they're aware of these certain supernatural elements, which makes sense again because just dragons existing.
Hello.
It's a very supernatural thing.
And we haven't seen, at least on House of the Dragon, any of the Targaryens use blood magic. We've only seen Daenerys use to some extent on Game of Thrones once her dragons are born, due to a lot of like dark blood magic and sacrifice. So for him to use that word on his anti-Targaryen rant, which makes sense, like not everybody's gonna love them. They are incestuous. They did conquer them. Like the speech made perfect sense to me, especially like they're from the Reach as well.
Incestuous aliens.
Incestuous aliens. That's another perfect descriptor. Like I feel like a lot of these shows treat Targaryens a little too normally. They never highlight how outworldly they are with their pale platinum hair and their purple eyes and their magic and all that stuff. So like for him to say that, I loved it. Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
It was really, really good. Yeah, that conversation that it was really, really interesting with Raymond and Dunk, and happening at the same time with what's happening with Tenzel and Aerion. Like Aerion is giving us exactly why Raymond feels this way.
Exactly. It ties it perfectly into what happens next. And Aerion, to in a lot of ways, and again, is an exception because most of them are fairly normal, I would say. Most like normal, if you can use that word for royalty and nobility. I mean, to me, like F billionaires type of thing in real world. You know what I mean? Like,
The
but
rich.
like he's nicknamed the Monstrous. He likes to call himself as Brightflame because he's obsessed with fire, like canon wise, but he's known throughout the history as Monstrous because he's just insanely cruel. Like whenever people talk about Targaryen madness, like not I'm not a fan of that word because that means that something like broke into your brain and then you did all the crimes. No, like some of these people have done things because they wanted to. Like I don't want to absolve them of their actions. Like Maegor the Cruel did a lot of horrible shit because he wanted to. He was a cruel person. He was just evil. So like with Aerion, it's debatable. He's just really, and I have some theories on Aerion why he is like not broke, kind of broken like that. But he like his cruelty is part of also like for him to see himself as a dragon born during times of no dragons. So that's gotta hurt, number one. Number two, like he's watching a show where his family is essentially getting humiliated and laughed at, right? So like it's a a triple entendre of different emotions that he feels in that moment where he sees metaphorical dragon getting slayed. So it's
Mhm.
humiliation. It's sigil of your own house being desecrated. Think of it that way as well too. So all of that, none of it excuses obviously what he did. He's just the worst. I hate him so much. Oh my god, I hate him with passion of thousand burning suns. So watching Dunk kick his ass was cathartic.
Oh my God, that was so good. And Duncan didn't
Hmm.
even he didn't care. He didn't think about it twice. He was like
Nope.
blind. Tanzel getting hurt, that's all he saw.
That was it. That's it. He saw a young woman, an innocent woman, getting broken by a maniac, by a complete monster. And to make it kind of worse, in the novella, she is a puppeteer, and the puppets are smaller, so you don't have that big dragon. So everything is like a doll. So when she puppets, she does this.
Oh, damn.
Makes it worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now like that's her job. It said that's what she does. She's an artist. So she puppets the puppets and then he breaks the one thing that she needs to do her show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
as cool as it looked, the big dragon and like the all the special effects that they kind of created in world. It's slightly more effective, I would say, in the novella, just because the implication of Aerion breaking her fingers and she uses it
Yeah.
to puppet the marionettes and the dolls.
Yeah.
So
Oh man, that okay, yeah, that knowing that, yeah, that makes it even
that
more
makes it
tragic.
worse. That makes it way more tragic. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And,
now again we see Ariane like well still being continuing the cruelty with Dunk. Like
mm-hmm.
of course he did, of course, you know, coming and punching royalty
Can't do
and
that.
of course that it's crazy, it's crazy, but Aaron
But
didn't even think twice to come and try and he was like, well, you broke my tooth, I'm gonna break all of yours now. He was just gonna do it then and there.
curb stomp him. I was like medieval curb stomping. I was shocked.
I was like
And like
crazy
and
for
it's
this man.
and all of it is so like not ironic. What's the word I'm looking for? It's just so hypocritical. Their oaths require them to protect women and the children and the weak and the needy. And like when Dunk was trying to be this knight that abides by those values, does that, like he's immediately punished and threatened with whatever Arian wants to do to him at that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was crazy. And then we get, the beautiful crazy reveal with Egg.
The final reveal. Yep, Egg shows
I
up.
love that Egg. The confidence that Egg had. When he came in, he's like asserting his authority in this
That
moment.
was it.
Oh
And
God.
keep in mind, the last like 3 episodes, counting this one too, he's been hiding deliberately. Like when he's on Dunk's shoulder during jousting, he sees his family. He's like, "Oh, put me down. I don't want to be recognized." Number one, he's constantly hiding from them. He's trying to hide from Maekar. He's trying from his father. He's trying to hide from Aerion. And all of a sudden, like his friend is in trouble, and that's when he reveals himself to save Dunk while he's been hiding this whole time. So that was such a powerful little moment. It's like, you insolent little rat, what happened to your hair? Like, I cut it off, brother. I didn't want to look like you.
Was
He
such a
said the line. That was me.
Eh, that was a Leo
and
moment.
the and the telenovela music. dun dun
Oh,
dun and dun, like everybody's faces.
dun,
It
dun,
was one of those.
dun.
It was a very like
It's
dramatic
so
moment. It was
good.
so great. Everybody's face, Raymond's face, Tensel's face, Doug's, everybody's face was like, oh, it was such a like novella moment. I loved it. It was perfect. It was just
It is
perfect.
so good, so good, and
It's
oh my
more
god, I
it's dramatic for Dunk, like everything that he believes in so far, it's getting shattered. The knighthood, the concept of knighthood, that what happens when you're born into privilege versus earning your way through life. Like, and now, like the little squire that he made wash his horse is a little Targaryen prince. I was like, oh shit, and I just beat the other one. Oh, I'm cooked, fam. We're cooked.
we are so cooked. I had this
We're
little
so
kid
cooked.
eating salted dry meat.
Beef.
Telling him I'm about to beat his ass for not doing something I told him to do.
He's like, I should beat you bloody. And he's gonna make him eat jerky for 3 days. A young prince is like, oh shit, I made him wash my clothes and my horse. Oh no.
Oh my god, poor
It was
Doug.
such a
I
great
can't.
moment. It was such a great
Like
moment.
you said, that Peter Claffey, his face is so good emoting, like you said before. He was
His
just there,
big
like
eyes bulging out of his head every time something happens.
a million things going through his head. It was
He doesn't have to
so
say a word. You know exactly what he's feeling. It was just so wild. He's so good in this role. And also, like, I felt such relief that we have finally have a little eggs reveal because we were trying to like keep it under wraps. Obviously, we've seen
girl.
the season earlier too. But I don't know if the audiences know this. Like when Temple Geek team was at New York Comic Con, George R. R. Martin, the author, was on stage, just casually drops the spoilers twice. I think
Hi.
Monica, you have a clip. You have to have a clip there, and
Oh my god,
I
yes.
think
You have to put
there's
that
a
clip
clip,
up.
and I think Sohaila, you could hear her
If
in
you
the
find it,
background.
you hear when we're saying,
One last question, everybody up here. Which episode are you most excited for everybody to see when the show comes out, when it's all said and done?
Episode 6, because then you will have watched the entire show.
Well played, sir. Well played.
I would have said 5, but I think 4 is the one that hits hardest for me. It's gonna be great. Yeah.
3. I love 3. It's my favourite.
Yeah.
You'll see why. You'll see why.
Well, I'm kind of prejudiced, but episode 5 is very big act. I hope I don't spoil anything for anyone, but those of you who have read the story or read the comic book will know. And that was a matter of concern. I mean, having a or even showing the hero going in. A lot of people have done this before. Versus all with their own distinct personalities and heraldry, and having all that going on at the same time is very challenging. How to do it, and I think the way they settled to do it, was superb. It's the best way to do it. Wasn't necessarily convinced when it started, but yes, it worked very well.
Like you could hear the pin drop in that room for a second at Naira Parker's face.
yo, he just like his neck freaking twisted 360 like
Oh my god, I'm crying. That was
and
probably
then
my favorite moment.
it was when he was doing the knighting. Was it when he was
That's
knighting
right.
the people?
I think so.
We were
Twice he
like,
did it. Twice.
no, not again.
George.
Yo, you just saw Aaron do this. Like, no.
Man, Warner Brothers is worried about us spoiling, and we are so careful. And all of a sudden, the author himself is like, "Well, young Targaryen prince, little egg." I'm like, oh no.
Like, oh my
I mean,
god.
I'm sure a lot of people are familiar. Like these stories have been out since '98. Game of Thrones was written in 96. Hedge was written in 98. Like, this is not something that was written 5 years ago and people have just discovered. It's been out here in pop culture zeitgeist for such a long time. So chances of people knowing who Little Egg is are very high. There are people that don't, obviously. I remember when I read it and the reveal, like, I didn't want to look like you, brother. I was like, no fucking way. Even I was like being like a total himbo, like not picking up on the clues within the context of the novella itself, because Egg is being he's being a little smart ass. He's running his little mouth, so you're not like picking up on on context clues.
You were just entertained with like this little character and his smart
That's
mouth.
That's it. I was so like taken back because like you're reading like Game of Thrones, which like kills off the main fucking character. Ned Stark is beheaded in Game of Thrones, and all of a sudden, what the hell is this story? And then all of a sudden, you're reading Hedge Knight. It's like, why is this goofy? So I got thrown off by the humor. I didn't pick up on Egg being somebody else. Yeah.
No, but definitely that was highlights. One of the highlights of at NYCC with the panel.
That was
so
hilarious.
So
that was
funny.
absolutely
Everybody
hilarious.
in the audience, like you could tell who knew this already, and they knew that it was a secret. Everybody was like, and you see people looking around like.
I'll never forget it. To me, the whole being at New York Comic Con was feels like a dream. I swear to God, if I didn't have it on camera and on film, I would think I dreamt it. But like for that moment, so specifically, still stuck in my head. I just remember Sahela sitting right next to me. He's like, "Did he?" Like, yeah, he did. It was so funny.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And then I was having to carry that, like, how think we got to be careful, like, kind of how we word things and what we say and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. And the thing is, like, I feel like a lot of it, like 80% of the novella has been captured so like accurately, which is why the show is doing really well. Like being on like different like social medias and talking about it is such a like it's been like a joyous experience. But also like Ira Parker has done enough to differentiate it too, to give us surprises, to give us little extra humorous moments, such as the crapping scene, the Sir Arlen being well endowed. Let's see what else was new. Aerion getting attacked by small folks. So that was newly added to kind of again to push to highlight that Targaryens are not seen the same way again, but also like his behavior was extremely ungallant. So I could see why that reaction was so strong. So like those things, Lionel Baratheon is nowhere near as prominent in the novella as he is on the show. Like he is given much more to do. He's much more present. So which for betterment of the show, the character is great. The actor has been phenomenal. But yeah, like he's done enough to like give us who know what's going to happen surprises. And I'm in that camp where I'm like, I know, obviously I know what's going to happen, but also like, oh, what? Wait a minute. Like
all the new things that are added. Yes.
It's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah. And then, and from what I've gathered with the videos that you've done and explanations and stuff, all these little new things that have been added does not take away from the story
at all.
Like it's just,
I think it actually makes it better.
Yeah, it enhances it, right?
Aerion alone, that scene of being swarmed by small folks, it adds a lot of context in terms of like relationships of small folks and peasants versus the nobility and royalty. So yeah, that one was a great addition.
Yeah, that was a very smart addition. Like
smart addition. Yeah,
definitely, because again, like you said, it just adds to that. Just explanation of they're hated. We don't just get we don't just get Raymond's monologue about how
correct.
People hate. We get to see
Thank
it
you.
at the same time. Yeah. That for sure. I think it's been Ira has been doing a phenomenal job.
Phenomenal. Like I couldn't be happier. And I'll say one thing, for Targaryens not to have dragons in this era, they've taken all the budget from dragon keeping and maintaining the pit and flushed it into their armor. The armor looks crazy. Oh my God. I cannot get over how good everybody looks.
The detailing in all of them, every single house, like you said before.
Even like Baelor's son, and this is again when you know ball, when you know game. Valar Targaryen, Baelor's son, he doesn't have any speaking lines so far. You've only seen him with the dark hair when Aerion and him are like kind of looking at each other. Like, look at his cloak; it's covered in thunderbolts. because his mother is Jenna Dondarrion, and Dondarrions, their house is Thunderbolts. So it's like it's
cool.
small details like that stuff matters. That's exactly the kind of stuff that George would write. It's like, yeah, Targaryen prince, and you look over on his cloak. Oh, it's Thunderbolts. It's for his mother. It's amazing. And then probably my favorite moment so far in all 3 episodes is that quiet scene with just whistling music in the background of Duncan and Egg making breakfast.
Oh my God. Yes, we cannot forget about that moment.
That might be the most spiritually a Song of Ice and Fire moment that I have ever seen since 2011 when Game of Thrones premiered. I have never. Somebody tweeted it and I reposted it, and I'm just going to reiterate that it's not my thought. It's their thought. Like George R. R. Martin must have cried when he saw that. I think he must have been weeping when he saw 2 of them making breakfast. I can't get over it. Like the whole eating sandwiches and not eating salt beef, like eating ham and eggs on a piece of bread, which sandwiches are not canon in the Song of Ice and Fire, guys. Amazing. I have never seen a sandwich in the Song of Ice and Fire.
In canon now.
And like George is not only is he obsessed with armor and jousting and medieval history and sigils and houses and all these different things, he is so descriptive about his food. Like he could devote like pages and pages upon pages to food, to characters eating. Like you can taste literally everything that these characters eat because he's so descriptive. When he describes like the lemon cakes that Sansa Stark loves, you can literally smell lemon like through the page. So for them to include that little moment with no dialogue, it's just whistling. Like you're out in the country, just walking through woods, and you're whistling a song. 10 out of 10. Perfection.
It's so refreshing. It's just so like
cleared my skin. It added years to my life.
Yes, and also the fact that obviously this is something that is very in real life history. That's how it was for these hedge knights, for these things. So
yeah,
they're taking the time to give us these little details, These little details matter. It's not just the big events, big things happening all the time. You take a break and you get these little details that, again, enhances and just makes the story so much more personal and so much better.
Yes. And it's a moment, again, it's a dialogue-free moment. So we've talked about this privately and in like different open forums, like, so much of television is spoon-fed to us. So much of it like is assuming that you are scrolling on your phone, that you are checking Instagram, that you're checking TikTok, that you're checking all these different things. So like, if you looked away and you were on your phone, you would miss all of that. The perfect looking yolk that just like sizzles on that ham, and just how happy they are that they found something else. Like, and everything is green and lush, and they're just smiling, they're happy, they're in the moment.
Yes.
And like in the grand scheme of things, knowing what happens later with Aerion, with Tencel, and that his life is in danger, essentially. Like what Dunk did was he's doomed himself.
Mm-hmm.
And also like the fact that he was the first person that Egg thought of, because he knew that Dunk would be the one that actually do something to stop Aerion. No one else in that entire camp would have the balls, the gall to strike a prince.
Mm-hmm.
He knew Dunk would protect Tencel.
Yes. So good. No,
he endangered him, but he also like subscribed to his own goodness. It's just duality of it all.
Right? It's so good. Oh man,
it's
no,
so
that yes.
Perfect episode.
That little scene with the food just felt very anime.
Like it did, anime, right? Somebody said Studio Ghibli, something like that. It had that vibe.
I saw that too, I think. Because that they love to concentrate on the food and how everything sounds and the smells and just like the detail of the food and everything, and it's like, oh my god, it's just a cool moment like that. Having that.
Jujutsu Kaisen does that a lot, actually. They do like they step away from the story and they talk about like Japanese treats, and they're always like they look good. Like anime food looks amazing. It's crazy. Like it's totally. Yeah. The food scene is probably one of my favorite moments from Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and so far the 3 episodes we got, and that's gonna go top 5 of anything ever adapted from these books. It is so spiritually a Song of Ice and Fire.
And I don't think we're good. Do we get any moment? I can't remember, like from Game of Thrones, did we get moments like that? Like anything that has to do with like cooking or food. Did we get any type of moments like that with Game of Thrones?
It's been a while. I'll tell you right now. I have not rewatched Game of Thrones since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I just
I can't remember.
cannot. I think in the first few seasons they were doing a lot of like food references at feasts.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think they were doing okay, but it was very like gray and gloomy,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
these episodes. Like this one, it was green. Like that yolk was like perfectly yellow. Like it was so like it looked like a fresh goose egg. Like it was great.
Yeah.
So
No, it was really great. No, now we are gonna ending the way this ended.
Mhm.
It's gonna, again, we know that what's coming now is gonna be a little bit more grim, because now we're gonna have to Duncan's gonna have to deal with the consequences
Yes.
of what he did, the consequence, and there's gonna be consequences between Duncan and Egg because of
Yes. The
now
lie.
we're
Yeah.
with Egg with the lie and stuff. So it's gonna be a little stressful because we don't know what's gonna happen now.
It definitely it's a tonal shift from now on because a serious thing has happened. So now we are in the consequence era of that. So and there is a trailer out there. So this is not a spoiler. There was a trailer right after the episode. The 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 implication that they're doing Trial of Seven, which we will learn in the next episode what that is. But Maekar, what the fuck is Trial of Seven? It shows you again. It shows you again how little he doesn't care about anything. I think his wife died and he clocked out of interest. So
Like,
he
that's
didn't
it.
do anything.
I don't care about
He's
it.
got to raise his 6 misbegets. I think that was the word Raymond used, which I love. Oh, which I also should have pointed out. Like Aerion behaves in the way he does when Maekar is not watching. So like Maekar was not when he killed the horse. Maekar was not there. Supposedly he went to look for his 2 other missing sons for Daron and Aegon. So that's why Aerion behaves that way. And I also think part of it is to embarrass and weaken Baelor as the next king. I think part of it is that too. And also, like at the puppet show, Maekar is not watching, so he can't hurt poor Tansel. Like if Maekar was there, that's not happening. It's not happening.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
what
that's
the fuck is Trial of Seven?
What is it? At least we're getting a list, a little bit of like I'm sure we're gonna get little, tidbits of comedy to kind of like soften everything else that's gonna come, which that's what I'm gonna cling on because I know it's gonna be
it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough.
Very rough with everything that's gonna come. But
Dunk struck royal prince, the blood of the dragon.
What did I do? Yeah, but so that's basically what we're what are you expecting now? Coming into episode 4 and the rest of the season.
Obviously without spoilers. Also, I've read this novella more times than I care to admit at this point. We are in a Trial of 7 era, which might be self-explanatory to some people what that means. We've had historically in shows Trial of Combat. Now we have Trial of 7. So Dunk is going to have to defend himself, essentially.
For sure.
He will be put to trial. Like Tyrion Lannister invokes trial of combat in Game of Thrones when he gets Oberyn Martell. Poor Oberyn, this sweet baby. Why were you so dumb and so vain and so distracted? So now we've had Trial of Combat. Now we get Trial of 7. So, which is kind of foreshadowed when you think about it in episode 2 when Dunk is spying on the princess talking. The way he's standing in the room when he's looking for when Baelor is pledging for him, when he's vouching for him. Yeah. In the background, you see the 7-pointed star.
Oh,
in the window.
Oh, that's a nice detail. Okay.
So I saw that in the trailer way before we watched these episodes, and I'm like, because I mean I knew what was coming. I'm like, oh, the way he positioned that the 7-pointed star, which is Westerosi cross, because Fate of the 7 is like Catholicism, because George R. Martin was a Catholic. I don't know, he no longer practices. So so he incorporated his upbringing and his religion into Fate of the 7 in Westeros. So it's kind of a cross. He's got a star. So like that one was in the back of Dunk when he's talking to the princess, and that was a huge foreshadowing moment, at least in my head. So
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
that's a really cool detail. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
that
I think we saw briefly in the trailer too, Aegon in his little princeling clothing. And he looked so sad, like he was so happy in his drabby like
yeah,
hood, and
it's already
now he looks like a proper little prince.
adorable. Oh my god. I'm
He
sure
looks
he
like his father, like with the red, the
that's
red.
it looks
He
so
looks like
good.
Maekar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He looks adorable though, but he hates it. I know he does
Oh,
for
he hates
sure.
Maekar. He doesn't hate his father, but he definitely hates his brother.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, Aerion the monstrous. Yeah, he wants to be known as Brightflame, but pretty much everybody knows him as monstrous.
Yeah. Oh man. No, no, definitely can't wait for 4. It's gonna be early on Friday.
Yes, thank you for
You can
that. Yeah,
remember that it's gonna be on Friday because the Super Bowl is gonna be on
on
Sunday. So,
Sunday.
all right, guys. So this is gonna close this episode of Temple of Geek podcast. We want to thank to everyone who tuned in today, especially my girl JJ. Thank you so much for being here. Real quick
Of
again,
course, of
give your
course.
socials where you could go, where you talk about Game of Thrones, The Song of Ice and Fire, all the good stuff, and
Mhm.
everything nerdy. Where can they go see you?
So you can find me on TikTok mostly, but now I've started to post a lot of my content on Instagram as well. And I still unfortunately tweet. I can't. It can't be helped. Yeah, same username on all those social media platforms, Lady Dragon JJ. So I talk mostly about A Song of Ice and Fire, but I also talk about other pop culture things that I enjoy. So
Okay,
thank you for
awesome.
having me again.
Yes, you know, every week we're gonna be on here talking this
Yes.
awesome, amazing
Hopefully
show.
we'll have Sahela back.
Yes, yes, definitely, Sue. We missed you today.
Mhm. We
Definitely,
miss you, Sue.
we will show you know. Hopefully, we'll be back for the next one. So again, thank you everyone for tuning in. You already know anything that you want to read when it comes to nerdy content and everything. You can find us at templeofgeek.com website, and we're also on TikTok and on Instagram, and just we everything for everybody. So thanks again, and we're gonna see you in the next one. Bye, guys.